Tire pressure set, car fueled up, warmed up, batteries charging. This is gonna be fun. This right here is the fastest pass of the day. Not super proud of the reaction time, but my first 7 ever, 788. Felt amazing, and that was lifting at 1,000 foot. The following pass, we were supposed to run it out the back, and that's when some things changed. This one here was the last pass of the day. Not my best. Best reaction time was a 42 light. 791, and that was shutting it down before the 1,000 foot because we had a catastrophic failure. Well, now that the car's unloaded, as I can show some of the carnage. Piece of a rod in here. On its way to a 7-second pass, and that happened. That came out of the oil pan, so the block should be salvageable.
Drop it in there. Looks to be just one rod got destroyed, so see what all has come out. Unplug the water pump. Unplug the crank trigger. What's unplugged? Who's that water? So vacuum pump's unhooked from the catch can. Catch pan's out. Oil is draining, it's thick. And there's the magnet lit, looks like, as expected. You see oil pressure sensors unplugged, water pumps unplugged, crank sensors or crank triggers unplugged, fuel's unhooked. Need to bump it over and see if it's gonna bump all the way over. It should. It was running when I shut it down. So bump it over, do the torque converter bolts, and I guess unbolt transmission, unbolt the engine plate, and it should come out. Rather than draining the water, I might roll it out for that. Let the water drain outside.
Well, skipped a lot, but water's drained, torque converter bolts are out. I'm gonna take the carburetor off because I noticed that on the other engine that was shipped, so my plan was pretty much send it out the same way he sends them in. There's no carburetor on it, so no carburetor. Distributor stays in it, vacuum pump on it and all that, crank trigger on it. So pretty much gonna do the same exact setup like that and get it wrapped up so it can head out. So carburetor's gonna come off. There's still water dripping from it, but once the carburetor's off, I'll go ahead and snatch it out of there. And just like that, engine's out of it. Got some bolts in a Ziploc bag right there. Transmission bolts back in, torque converter bolts back in. Starter bolts are with the starter. Headers are over there. Catch pan there. The scoop is there.
The carburetor's there. I'm just recording this pretty much so I know where everything's at, but yeah. Sending the engine off to North Carolina. Fix that little oopsie. Lucky number 7 came out the oil pan, so. Got something else done today. Got home and my seat is back from Seat Concepts. I ordered it a while back and it came in and the stripes right here were crooked, so it went straight and then kind of dropped off just a little bit. And it was enough to bother me. I sent them an email and they immediately sent me a shipping label, sent it back to them, and they recovered it and sent it back. Seat's super comfortable. If I were to do it again, I wouldn't go with the Comfort XL. I'll probably go with the Race because just the foam itself was an upgrade. The gripper cover is awesome. But I rode with this one again last week, and it's a lot nicer for moving your legs back and forth because of the width of this. Just moving your body past that, like your legs and everything. Like, I definitely feel that. I'm sure I'll get used to it, but still a nice seat for the money, you know. I'm gonna go ride tomorrow at Croom, so hopefully I don't end up like last time. I'll put some pictures in of what happened last time. But yeah, got that done today. He's running when I come out here, but also doing the high clearance center fenders on the front of the Jeep. Well, her Jeep. I already have them on the rear. Have had them for the front since November, and I'm just now getting around putting them on. I'm not gonna be able to finish it because I left my my tool for the what's the name of them? Of course I draw them like now. The riv nuts. My riv nut tool. I left it in Lakeland, so I'll have to go back and pick that up and be able to drill these holes and put those in. The real reason I'm even in here is because of these guys. Raceline bead locks. Love them. Have 2 sets of bead locks, 2 sets of non-bead locks. I've had 3 sets of the bead locks. Got rid of 1 set to go to 8 lug. So I was running 2 sets of the spacers in each wheel, and kept on leaking, kept having issues. Didn't matter how tight I torqued the bolts. I ended up breaking one of the bolts. Sadly, they only sell them as a kit of 32 bolts, I think, per wheel. So you can't just buy one. These could probably use replacing anyways. They're a little rusty, but they work. So I'm not gonna buy 32 bolts to replace one. I had issues with them leaking, and I called Raceline, and actually I emailed them and got in contact with somebody, had a nice conversation on the phone, and he explained to me that I probably had too much spacer. On my Mickey Thompsons, I run 2 1/4 inch spacers. No, those are 1/8 inch. Yeah, those are 1/8 inch spacers. Well, I run 2 1/8 inch spacers on the Mickey Thompsons, and was going to do the same on these, and they kept leaking, having issues, all that. And he said to remove 1 set of spacers, because with the spacers in there, it wasn't letting the bead seal. He said with the 1 set, he said it may not seem like enough, but it will make it work like an O-ring as far as the bead goes, and be able to clamp it on there and keep it from leaking. So something else I'm working on. Got 1 set done. I need to torque those down and work on the rest of them, and then get the bumpers powder coated, because I also did do a Tomahawk front chop bumper on this from Motobuilt, and the rear bumper's also on their Motobuilt. I'm not going to get up and show it off, but they have to be powder coated, so hopefully be doing both of those soon. This was towards the end of the day at Croom. My buddy Andrew wrecked his KLX 230, so I rode it out with no clutch, and that's him on my bike.